Well, let me at least show you the thing against Akuma. It's really useful. Right now, I'm just testing my my lag a bit. Okay, so this is one of the things that makes this matchup like quite dangerous for Akuma, or scary for Akuma. I think the matchup is still 5.5 in Akuma's favor, but this thing is like really Yun B, thank you for the fall. So, why this is so good for Nash is that the situation for Nash is that if you anti-air with Nibazuka at a specific angle, and you keep staying in that range at all times, Akuma is always scared to jump, because if he does a normal jump, he will also fail. So, if you're at this range, this happens to him, or that happens to him. So you either get a real anti-air, or you get a punish on his fireball. Extremely useful. Whoops. You see? So, if you're having trouble against Akuma, know this. That is so valuable. Can you cross up with a Nibazuka? No. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but no. No, Rotba didn't win? Oh my god, who did he lose to? Okay, but with neutral in general, well, you have your booms, of course, but the thing with Street Fighter V is that the zoning is keeping your opponent out with fireballs and limbs like this. This is zoning, and zoning is like a part of footsies, or it's like one of the dimensions of footsies, I would say. But the thing in this game is that you never, like, you don't want to risk too much, like, obviously you can get jumped on when throwing fireballs, and getting jumped on in this game you really don't want. So you rarely want to throw fireballs in this range, because it's so scary. And another thing is that in this game, fireballs, they all have like Dan Hibiki tier hurt boxes. I don't know if you remember in Street Fighter 4 when Dan threw his Gadoken, whoosh, whoosh, the hurt box was like here. Like his hand was here, but his hurt box was here. So he would get poked out or stuffed. So it's like extremely easy to get stuffed when you throw fireballs. Like if you use them as pokes in this direction, or in this manner, if they do like a heavy kick or a fierce or something, you'll get hit because your hurt box is extremely far forward for no reason. Far forward. So it's just generally risky to throw them like this. So what I end up doing is that I stay kind of like here and throw fireballs from this range mainly, if I want to use this kind of zoning, which you should do, but I don't do it enough. But the reason why I don't do it enough is because Heavy Boom is so broken as Nash. It's his best move. Herder! I don't care about neutral. Just throw a slow projectile and go in, and you don't even have to care. So I always end up using that instead. But the thing with doing this is that you always get, like, there's always a little risk involved, because they might reversal, like, after blocking this boom, for instance, or if you go for a grab, you might get hit by wake-up buttons, because you can't melee grab in this game properly. And now he also has this. They changed so you can actually get the second EX boom like a slow one. Or you can make it a slow one. So yeah. Like, it kind of makes you not want to play the real zoning game, because you end up just doing no-brainer slow projectiles into go in. So I wouldn't call this like a way of playing neutral. I would call it a way of bypassing neutral that you end up doing over and over, because this is how the game is built. But if you want to play real neutral, medium and heavy booms from this range is what I do. Be ready with anti-airs at all times. Either this is one of his most solid ones. Heavy kick has gotten buffed, so it's pretty good, but you need to be in time. This one also got buffed, but will not always work. When you anti-air with this, it's good to special cancel into a heavy boom. Or sometimes special cancel into moonsault. That will, in the end, like... in the end, they will stuff you here. But you can try it a few times, and as long as it works, you should go for that. That's a mistake I'm doing. I'm not doing that enough. I should just do that, like, I should do that once and check if they do anything about it or not. And other parts are neutral. This is like your safest, albeit lower reward, footsie normal. This is really good too, but the thing is, if they jump here, when you do this, his hurt box is like far back here. So if they cross you up and do a cross up normal, they always hit you, because like his hurt box is like, ooh. But if you do this, they tend to whiff. The cross ups tend to whiff if you go for this one. And you can also hop over slides with this one, which is good too. And apart from this. Also low reward, but good. So what I do, like when they have low life left, since I don't want to take too much risk and I just need like little damage, I end up doing this. And what you wanna do here, when you're in this situation, when you wanna use this just to get a little damage to get the win, don't do them like. In order to make this proper, in order to do this properly, you need to implement a little back walk before doing the second one. So after doing this, walk back and do another one, because they are going to hit a button. If they block this, they're most likely going to hit a button. And if you do another one directly, likely you'll get hit. You shouldn't be pressing buttons when you're minus anyway. So if you're doing this and they block it, walk back, do another one, or walk back, do this. Or just really slight walk back and do that. Just like have that as a muscle memory. Whenever you want to do this or this, walk back a little first, just really slightly, and then do it. Or walk back and then walk forward and do this. Every single situation where you feel buttonsy, where you want to press a button, try walking back first, then doing it. It works wonders. Otherwise, this is of course a neutral move, but it's super risky. It's like kind of as risky as this. You can get jumped on with this when you do this. If they walk up and block, you will be like -7 or -8 or 10. So this is overall a risky move, but if you you can do it after booms, like this. Then it's not really risky. It's minus though, but at least you won't get jumped on if you do the medium sights after the booms. I wouldn't do it after heavy booms though. After heavy booms you get to dash up and do stuff. And a part of that, once in a while do heavy moonsault. If they are fireball users. Or if they're not, actually. I would try, like, test them. Do this once in a while. Hey, Rukba. I heard you were second. Or you got second. And of course, the buffer normals. This, and this. But this only buffers into V-Trigger and Super. Musa, I don't know that setup. So you buffer this into either this or this. It's overall riskier to buffer into this because it doesn't always connect at all ranges. Meanwhile, this will always connect. If you're buffering this, it's most of the time safe to buffer into this. Because it will, like, if it hits, it's usually, like, pretty... They end up close, so... You're almost always close enough for this to hit. But it's not entirely safe. But it's a good reward if you buffer and get this, because you get full Oki. Meanwhile, this does not give you real Oki. See you, Gulag. Well played tonight. And, well, you have this. But this is equally risky as this. And equally risky as this. If they jump when you do this, they will hit you if they use the right air normal. Like, that will happen. That happens to me a lot. It's like the most painful feeling in the world when that happens to you. It's a nice move, but it's risky. I think I tend to do a neutral a lot, which is it's always a risk. Meaties, I can show meaties next time. I often go for this. After this connects, go for this. It will break your turn if they block it. And it's tough to get the optimal spacing on this move. It's really, really distance specific to get the optimal spacing on this. It went horribly for me. Yeah, if they block that, you need to respect them. But if you hit them, it's usually safe to go for bottom. Not necessarily because you're plus, but because they will really think that you are plus. Like, here. You're like, here, you're like, I don't think you are plus here. I think I'm minus there. But they will definitely think that you're plus. So, I hit buttons here. What else? Once in a while, I never do this. I do this really often, but like throw one EX boom, and then be ready to anti-air. It's like safe throwing a fireball safely. But I don't ever do this. I always feel like it's a waste of meter. But I know Infiltration used to do that a lot. And I do use this in neutral every once in a while, but this is minus 10 on block. But if you space it like here, it's hard for them to punish you. Well, not hard, but it's really like awkward to be ready to punish that. Oh, and if you're doing this mid-screen, don't ever cancel into the V-skill ender part of this, because that will very likely whiff. Like this will happen. So, always go for this mid-screen, and if they're in the corner, you can go for this. But this is kind of a gimmick, because it's, as I said, minus 10. So, you need to be kind of careful with this move. Oh, and the last advice to play neutral with Nash: use a whiffed heavy kick as a micro dash and press a button after. And this will happen. Trust me. Or just do that. It will work. Or if you think they will react like kind of well, do this instead. Back medium kick with faster move. 5 frame startup. But seriously, try this. Well, you have no idea how often this works. Okay, that's my neutral lesson for tonight.